the report. Hence, I'm saying, if at that point we had evidence, I would have acted differently.
Indeed, and that's what I'm confirming. So basically
Yes.
what you are saying is, if you knew then what you've since come to learn
Yes.
through the commission, you would have acted. That's your
Correct.
testimony. You referenced receiving an opinion from Advocate Bihari. If I could just start here, was that a written or a verbal opinion?
It's a verbal opinion.
Just a verbal opinion. And am I correct to say that the totality of that opinion is encapsulated in your paragraph 123 that you just read? Effectively, that the report was insufficient and that the matter should not be pursued further. Is that the advice you received?
Correct.
Did you have an engagement with Advocate Bihari following that opinion to satisfy yourself that indeed the report was insufficient and that not pursuing the matter further is the correct course to take? Did you have that deeper discussion with him?
We had discussions as and when with Advocate Bihari. Hence, I indicated that he should actually expatiate in terms of his understanding about the opinion. Because I based my decision on the opinion that was given. And as I indicated also that in terms of the processes, when you receive reports of this nature, a lawyer or the legal department must actually interpret and give advice to the accounting officer as to what needs to happen.
Yes. So your decision was based largely, if not solely, in fact, on the legal advice you received from your legal advisor,
Correct.
Advocate Bihari. Commissioner Balo, you had indicated, I think there are questions and
Yes.
perhaps might be the appropriate junction.
Yes. The report, as you correctly say, Dr. Mashazi, the report is directed at the Chief of Police. It's not directed at you. And then you say in paragraph 122 of your statement, you say, notwithstanding this, I received the presentation of the report. So it was presented to you by IPID. Okay. How does that square up with earlier evidence
Against
that
Julius.
IPID
It's
presented?
documented, signed
Okay.
by Ulu,
Yes.
that he must take action. He must actually discipline Mabea. And for me, it was fair enough because the discipline of his junior officials lies squarely on him as the accounting officer of the department.
So when you say IPID presented the report to Mapie, you meant it is addressed to him in writing? Because on the
Addressed to
face
him.
of it, indeed, you're correct, it's addressed to him.
Yes.
But it was presented to you,
Also, yes.
and you received it. Now, the report, and if Ms. Silo could remind me what page the report is in the bundle.
The IPID report,
Yes.
that is Mapia JM 19, Commissioner.
Yes. So the report discusses the complaint, the allegation in paragraph 1. It's quite a short report of 3 pages. And then it concludes in 103, page 103 of the bundle. It gives you the recommendation, and then it recommends disciplinary action, disciplinary steps be taken in terms of the disciplinary procedure collective agreement. And it says for honesty and for failure to conduct himself with honesty and integrity. Now, on the face of it, it looks to me an employee relations matter. That's what it looks like. Why would you refer this recommendation to Advocate Behari and not your head of HR, Ms. Kasheka?
For me, at face value, I looked at the report and it contained like memorandum of agreement. And for me, I took it that it needs a legal opinion to advise.
I thought you received the memorandum of agreement
This-
later, the evidence. You didn't
No, it-
receive it with the report.
It was part of the report.
So when you received the report in September 2023, before you gave it to Advocate Bihari, it already had the memoranda, the two memoranda.
No, this one is a memorandum of agreement concluded between IPID and South African Police Service as well as EMPD. I'm referring to this memorandum. And it was part of the report that was sent to Chief of Police to take action against Mkhwanazi.
So you say the reason you gave it to Advocate Bihari, it is because it contained a memorandum between the IPID and the EMPD.
Correct.
And you were asking him to do what? Because you've got a report which recommends disciplinary action. That's the action that is required from the city and you have from the municipality, and you have a head of HR. What are you saying Advocate Bihari should do with that recommendation? Because he's not Mr. Mkhwanazi's superior.
I did not look at the recommendation only. The report itself, the content of the report, it must be interpreted legally and I must be advised legally. Obviously, the HOD HR will come and testify about labor relation issues that are related to the report.
Okay. Now, I'm not concerned about the HOD. We will speak to her when she does, because she will come and testify. So we will speak to her. I want to understand why it is you receive, there's a complaint, and you are told in page 1, in one short paragraph, what the allegations are. And in page 2, there's an analysis of what that investigation has revealed. And then you, in fact, the only reference to a memorandum is at page, it says, in the second page, it says, it has been ascertained that the suspect was acting and further discovered that the chief of police and deputies do not have powers to enter into a memorandum. The IPID memorandum with EMPD, may be missing it. I don't see any reference to it, so I don't understand when you say the reason you took this to Advocate Bihari is because there was a memorandum between the EMPD, which had accompanied this report, between the EMPD and IPID. I don't see a reference to it in the report.
In terms of my evidence, when I started responding to this question, I indicated that anything that has memoranda or any document that will come from external service provider or external, remember I'm running 26 departments and I'm not like legally trained or HR or engineering and so forth.
Yes.
For me to take a safe route, I need an advocate or the legal department to interpret some of these things before I take action.
Okay. Let me ask you, let me try lastly. You've told us you've now had the opportunity to read this report from beginning to end. And you say you now realize that whatever advice Mr. Bihari gave you was not helpful to you. Do you accept, now that you've had the chance to reread it, do you accept that given the recommendation in this report, the proper directing of this report would have been to employee relations or to HR to deal with what it recommends?
I agree.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you, Commissioner. I think it's only appropriate to conclude with these matters regarding the memoranda, the blue lights and IPID. And I know they they appear under different questions in your statement, so I will jump then about. Please pull out the annexures, the annexure file for Niza. You can close the MAPIA file for now.
Oh, yes.
Are you winning?
Yes,
I'm going to
I'm
ask somebody
winning.
to help you. You okay?
I'm winning.
Okay. Okay, if you've looked.
Annexures, ne?
Yes, annexures file, thank you. I want you to draw your attention particularly to annexure PN 1919.
Annexure?
PN 19, that would start at page 344. Now, this, to place things in their proper context, this is a letter addressed to Mr. T.A. Kiefelakai, the Director Investigations and Information Management, as well as Acting National Head Investigations, IPID, and copied to Mr. W.M. Kulu, Senior Investigator, IPID. Mr. Kulu is the investigator in the IPID report that we have just been working through. It's dated the 6th of December 2023, and if you go to the last page of that at 348, you will see that it is signed by Advocate Njabulo Zulu, legal advisor, and Thabo Makwiting, acting HOD Corporate Legal Services, both with the city of Ikuruleni. You confirm you know them and they hold those positions. They held at the time those positions.
Correct.
Have you ever seen this letter and have you ever had opportunity to consider its contents?
This letter, as I was made to understand,
Yes.
was an internal letter from the department, and according to Advocate Kemi, said this letter was leaked illegally. It was never sent to IPID. That is my understanding according to the letter, but I haven't seen the letter.
You've never seen this letter?
I've seen the letter now in terms of the bundle that we received.
Would you be able to express a view on some of its contents in your capacity as accounting manager, strictly? Accounting, what, authority?
Corrupt and whatever.
Would you be in a position to engage effectively with this document?
Yeah, it's really not helping the process of dealing with the matter at hand.
We'll try and take it slow, and to the extent that you have to read specific paragraphs that I reference you, I'll give you the opportunity to do so. I'm starting at page 345. The suspect in this case being Mr. Mkwanazi, but by the authorized personal fleet. The letter, and I jump 4 lines below, this letter has been authenticated by the author security company and is therefore not fraudulent. I understand the authors of this document to suggest that that the registration of vehicles by EMPD was in fact effected? Is that the same understanding you have? And that registration was duly authorized?
Yeah, that's why I'm saying perusing the letter, looking at the letter, to be honest, is not assisting the process to deal with the actual misconduct.
In what way is it not?
Because if they're saying the registration of the vehicle, there are no challenges or legal challenges in terms of the registration of vehicle. For me, without those vehicles being presented as donation to the accounting officer, because the accounting officer is the only person who can authorize donations.
Okay.
So if you look at our donation policy, I was supposed to have had sight of this.
I understand you, and just to test my understanding therefore, then you are saying to the extent that there was such a registration, you can't support it
I can't.
because it would be based on a donation that you as the city manager did not authorize. So,
Correct.
however they express themselves and they think that it was authorized, you disagree with the position assumed in this letter in that regard.
I disagree.
Thank you. I want us then to go to page 346 of the same document. In fact, I'll start at 345 at the penultimate sentence of 345. It records, and I read, Stein furthermore states that this is the norm as my understanding, as SIT program, Caesar's program, and Gauteng heavy vehicle donations were donated only on a letter. Do you see where I'm reading?
No.
From the bottom of 345, the
Okay.
penultimate sentence.
Yes.
That says Stein further states, and this is a reference to, is it I.O. Stein, who submitted a statement regarding the registration of these vehicles. And it quotes him as having said, this is the norm as my understanding as SIT program, SIT, S-E-A-T program, Caesar's program, and Gauteng heavy vehicle donations were donated only on a letter. Do you follow where I'm reading?
Mm-hmm.
Do you follow?
Yes, I follow.
Okay. Now, I want to test the correctness of this understanding. What is SIT program, Caesar's program, and Gauteng heavy vehicle donations? You approve donations for the city.
Mm-hmm.
What donations are being referenced here?
I don't know. I don't have an idea because it never came to my attention, to be honest.
Did you ever authorize any donations as described in the document here?
No.
To your recollection?
No, in terms of my recollection during my tenure, even the first term of office, I never approved such donations.
You never approved such donations. So to the extent that Stein were to argue, as it suggested perhaps he is, that there were similar previous donations as he describes them, you would disagree that those donations, if they were found to have in fact taken place, would be lawful?
Correct.
You said correct.
I'm saying if those donations happened before, like Christine is saying, it's been their practice of accepting donations at that level as a department. For me, it is incorrect because the policy is very clear.
Okay.